Hello, today we're going to be talking about how to use Google for research. The goal is for students to be able to use Google for independent research so that they can find things on their own. And some objectives are to be able to use the Google search and the I'm feeling lucky buttons, to be able to search within your results, to be able to use phrase searches, Boolean words, to be able to use negation, synonyms, explicit inclusion, special syntax, and wildcards. So what we're going to start with is just simple searching. So you're going to go to the Google website, www.google.com, and this is the page that will pop up. And there are some different things that you're going to notice. If you're logged in, it will have your information up at the top and things for your Gmail account, maybe even possible an icon. Here is the Google button, which will be your home button. Anytime you want to go back to just clearing everything off, you can always hit that. And there will be a search bar in the center of the page with your Google search and your I'm feeling lucky buttons. And we're going to start off with saying the I'm feeling lucky button. The I'm feeling lucky button is a thing that instead of giving you a list of words, it will give you straight to a website that may include the words you're searching for. So let's say if I was searching for, where we're going to be researching scientists, if I wanted to say Marie Curie, instead of doing the basic search like what we see here, we're going to click the I'm feeling lucky button, and it will take us to several websites that include Marie Curie in the actual name of the website. So if you can see here, we have in the address of the website, we can see that we've got actually Marie Curie in those. Or we could just do the basic searching, which if we go straight back to Google, we can do Google search and type in her name, Marie Curie, and it will pop up a list of websites. So we have, if we look here, you can see that there are some statistics that are provided, and it tells us that there are 34,400,000 websites that are going to talk about Marie Curie. So when we do things like this, there is no amount of time that you will be able to have that would allow you to search through all of those websites and give them enough time to be able to determine if there's information that you actually want to use. So what you can do is you can actually scroll down to the bottom of the website, and it will show you a place to where you can have searches that are related, so that you can either narrow it down if you would like, if you wanted to do facts or biography or fellowship, accomplishments, information that's just for kids in this particular timeline, childhood, things like that. The next thing that I want to talk to you about are phrase searches. Phrase searches is whenever you enter keywords, and it will help you to find certain things. If you wanted to if you want them to appear together, let's say if I said Marie Curie and research, I could type that up, and that's going to give me some different information. But if I wanted to make sure that all three of those words are included together, then what I can do is actually attach quotes to both sides and then hit search. And that's going to pull up a different list. As you can see, we've now narrowed down our research from millions to 117,000, which is still quite a bit, but it's quite a bit smaller. And if we wanted to do even more narrowing down, we could add radioactivity. And as you can see, that one brought us down to just one result. But we need a little bit more than one. So we could go back and narrow that down again as needed. The next thing that I want to talk to you about is Boolean. And what Boolean is where you have certain words that will allow you to modify your search. So if you want to do research and you would like to talk about Marie Curie and chemistry. And you can click on that and that will give you certain words there. Or if you wanted to talk about or. So we're going to do chemistry or physics. That will be able to allow you to narrow it down so that you can add words to that, or you can have alternatives as well. The next thing that I want to talk to you guys about are being able to use negation. And what negation does is it allows you to search for certain things, but being able to take away certain aspects of your research. So a lot of times when you're searching for Marie Curie, you're going to find out how she died. But let's say you don't want to know that information. You just want to talk about her research. So if we wanted to look for information on Marie Curie but not on her death, we could actually hit the minus sign and type in the word that we do not want to see, and we can search. And that's going to give us some results there where it's not going to talk about her death, but it's going to talk about just other information. The next thing that we're going to look for are synonyms. And being able to use a synonym, you have to hit the tilde button. The tilde button is the one that's on the left side of your number 1 at the top of your keyboard. And you have to hit Shift and that button, and it makes the little squiggle there that you can see. And you'll be able to research words that will not only include the one that you're looking for, but it could include alternatives for that. So if we're searching for chemistry, we could search for synonyms for chemistry, and that will give us some results there, as you can see. And you can always scroll down, and if you look at the bottom, it'll list the number of pages that you can find, searches that are related, things like that. The next thing that we need to talk about is explicit inclusion. That's where if you are searching for keywords or phrases, there are certain words that Google is not going to be actually using. So if you are wanting to research a topic, a lot of times students will ask questions and they will want to type in the full question that'll say something like, how did Marie Curie help chemistry? Whenever you research that, Google is going to go through and it's going to pick out words that it's going to ignore, such as a or the or of and things like that. And if you want Google to stop taking a word into account, all you have to do is add the plus sign, which you'll hit Shift, and it's the button to the left of your backspace button. So if we didn't want it to search for certain words, we could go with adding the plus, and we could not include cancer, because we know that with Marie Curie, her studies of radioactivity, she ended up dying from cancer. So with that, we can force it to stop looking for those words, and we can hit our search button, and we can go through here and find words that we do not need. Okay? The next thing that we need to talk about will be special syntax. Whenever we do special syntax, there are certain words that you can use, and I'm going to give you a few that will make sure that things are narrowing down what you're looking for. If we type in the word in title and put a colon, what this is going to do is it's going to restrict all of your searches to web pages that have this in the title. So if we say in title Marie Curie, we're going to go through and it's only going to include web pages that include Marie Curie in the title. And if we want to add another one, we could have all in title, to where we could say Marie Curie research radioactivity. And we want to make sure that all those words, all four, are included in the title. Then when we hit the research or our search button, it's going to pull up and we're going to see that we have Marie Curie radioactivity all in the titles of each of these pages. And you can look here at the results with our statistics. We now have 34 pages. So being able to use these syntax terms are going to be able to help us to narrow down our research and be able to help us to narrow down what we're looking for. If we wanted to change this, and instead of having it just in the title, if we need it in the text, what we're actually going to be reading, we can type in the term in text and add the colon and the terms we're looking for. So we're going to continue looking for Marie Curie research. And once we do that, we can go through here and we're going to find different pages where you can see that it doesn't necessarily include all these terms in the web page or in the title, but it does include them bolded throughout our little descriptions for each of these pages here. Okay. Another one that you can use to help you with your research, and see this one, when we had it in text, that it upped our amount, our statistics, how many web pages we'll be able to find with the information. What we're going to do now is we're going to change it from being able to find information about Marie Curie, and we want to find it on a specific site. Most teachers, and I'm one that's included, will want you to only use sites that we would consider to be legitimate, that have peer-reviewed articles and educational resources. So if we wanted to find a site that was on an educational site, like a college website, then we can type in the term site, colon, and we're limiting it to only EDU sites. Once we do that, we have narrowed down our results to a little over 9,000, and you're going to be able to see that all of these are educational sites. We start with Lemoyne and Duke and MSU and several others, Illinois, and you can go through and find that it'll only be sites that are educational. Another term that you can use is gov. These are governmental sites, and most of the time they're educational as well. So when we search from here, we're finding sites that are just over from government sites. Here we have the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. It's listed here, .gov, and it's talking about Marie Curie. Here we have EnergyQuest.ca.gov, so this will be a Canadian website, or it says it's California, sorry, California website. And all of these, as you go through and scroll down your results, they're all going to be government websites. And this one had us go to about 11,000 sites, so it narrowed it down a little bit more than the educational. Other one that you can search for is .org. .orgs are going to be ones that it stands for organization, so they may not necessarily be government affiliated or college or university affiliated, but they could be organizations that are educational as well, like the American Institute of Physics, and here we have top British innovations, the Nobel Prize, things like that. The next thing that I want to talk to you about will be using wildcards. And a wildcard is something that's going to act as a substitute for a word that will allow you to search. So if we were searching for Marie Curie research, but we didn't know necessarily what we wanted to research, we could hit the shift button and the 8 at the top, which will give us an asterisk. And the asterisk will go through and stand as a substitute for a word. So we don't necessarily know what we're going to research, and when we do that, when we hit our search button, It's going to go through and it's going to plug in words like research breakthroughs, and we could have research grants, research skills, and research fellowship. What it does is it plugs in a word there that could be a substitute. Not even talking about science related and Marie Curie. If you were talking about like Old Mother Hubbard, which is a nursery rhyme, and you wanted to type in old, and instead of putting mother, we put the wildcard key in, and then we put Hubbard in, and we do research. And what it's going to do is it's going to go through and find words like Old Mother Hubbard, and most of these where it's a nursery rhyme, it's going to put mother in there, but it could substitute other words as well. Instead of doing Mother Hubbard, we could actually put 2 asterisks in because we don't know necessarily, and it will help us with a wild card. We could have Old National Bank, Old Dominion University, Old Spaghetti Factory, Old Ebbett Grill. So as you can see through here, it plugs in wild card words in for each one of those. So what I want you guys to be able to do is, by the end of this video, is to be able to use all those different things that we talked about, being able to use your Feeling Lucky key, being able to go back home to your Google page, being able to search within your results, being able to use phrase searches. Remember, those will be your asterisks around the words. Being able to use the negation key, where you can put the minus in and take out certain words. The tilde key for research and synonyms. Being able to use those special syntax that we talked about and our wildcards. And I hope you guys were able to learn something today, and I look forward to your research in the future. Good luck.